Good morning, children. Today we are going to do volumetric analysis, and in volumetric analysis we'll be doing redox titration. You know the meaning of the word redox? A reaction which is a combination of reduction and oxidation, and the titration will be with KMnO4 acting as the oxidizing agent and oxalic acid. We are going to do this titration to calculate two different things with the same readings. The first is we would be calculating the numerical value of X. You know, X is the number of molecules of water of crystallization in oxalic acid. The formula is before you, H2C2O4 dot XH2O. We will be calculating the value of X, and in the second, with the same set of readings, we will be calculating the percentage purity of oxalic acid. Immediately after the experiment, there will be a set of questionnaire, and from that, although the first two questions related to the two aims will be the same, you will realize that the third and the fourth question will be different, the same different calculation with the same set of titrate values. Done titrations in your 11th class, so we are not going to explain to you the details of how to conduct a titration. Here in the burette, we have put in KMnO4 solution, and I am going to pipette out 25 ml of oxalic acid in the flask which we call the titrate flask, and to that we are going to add 25 ml of sulfuric acid. Okay, and the speciality in this particular reaction, this mixture of oxalic acid and dilute sulfuric acid that we take, we are going to warm it to a temperature around 60 to 70 degrees in order to speed up the redox reaction. Now I am just going to pipette out this 25 ml of So here you can see I have just pipetted out exactly 25 ml of oxalic acid. I am going to empty it into the titration flask. So here we go. So that's done. 25 ml of oxalic acid has been put into the titration flask, and I have previously measured exactly 25 ml of dilute sulfuric acid. I'm just going to pour it to the titration flask, okay, and then I'm putting it onto the burner. Now the question arises, how would you realize that it has been heated to 60 to 70 degrees? Heating to 60 to 70 degrees means it should be warm enough so that you can just hold it, okay? And in your books you will find, they tell you, till the first bubble is there in the titration flask, okay? So this is basically to speed up the reaction and to a certain extent to prevent the hydrolysis. Okay, so we are just waiting for it to warm up before we go to our titration. You can see the burette has been set exactly at 0. I'm sure you remember the lower meniscus should touch the 0. You should pull it down. You remember you should pull it down to your eye level. Okay? and you are going to check at your eye level whether the lower meniscus is there or not, and preferably clean any bubble which is there with a filter paper. Clean any bubble which is there, because even one drop would account for your change in your perfect Tritra value. Okay, so as you see, the bubbles are just started coming up. You can see there. So that is the exact point where you will stop the titration. I take the burette back to its position where I can actually modulate. I think it is heated a little more than we want. So now, just a minute. So see the way I am holding it. First, the first Tritra value, I am going to put 2 cc at a time. See, it is disappearing. Okay, the end point will be indicated by a permanent light pink color to the solution in the Tritra flask. Okay, I have already put 2 cc, you see it's turned colorless. Okay, next. Again, see, it is turning colorless. See, it is still colorless. You can see it's already at 6.5. See, now be sure, as you can see in my titration flask, there are bubbles at the side. You should be clear that all these bubbles be incorporated into the titration flask for a perfect reading. So as you can see, children, this is the end point. This is the end point. At the end point, you are going to get a permanent light pink color. In readings before this also you may get this color, but you have to wait for a minute or two to see that the color does not disappear. Once the color is permanent, you will look at the burette reading. As you can see, the burette reads at 24. It is slightly more than 24.1. Okay, so this is our first reading. You are acquainted with concordant readings, with taking concordant readings in titration. One thing is a must. There is no average reading in titrations. You have to take 3 readings at least, out of which 2 readings have to be the same. Okay, so since we have done this titration earlier, we will take 24.1 as our concordant reading for the 2 sets of calculations that I have already shown you earlier. Okay, so now we shall move to how we are going to do the calculations and the questions that are associated with this titration. Once again, for all our calculations, we will be taking 24.1 cc as our Tritra value.